What the? There's someone on the roof.
Two?
What the?
There's two on the roof behind you. On the roof
Where?
behind
On
you.
the roof.
On the roof.
On the roof? Like, up.
No, behind you. 280.
This one?
Oh.
Oh, shit. Fuck.
Oh no. Oh shit! He's gonna...
Oh,
the storm!
Well, I think we're out.
I forgot about the storm.
It's fine.
I got saluted.
Well,
Oh.
GG.
Hey guys, how's it going? It is me, Mark, and today we're back for another review. Now this review is going to be a special one, not only because of the type of game that we're going to be reviewing, but I'm going to mention a little later on in the video why. Now the game we are reviewing today is going to be a special one, like I said before, but right before we get into all of that, I can't emphasize it enough. Go check out the links in the description below. It's going to have all the links to the game that we're reviewing. And make sure to check out our website down below because we have a diverse group of games that you can explore and look through and see if it interests you. And if it does interest you, we recommend you buying it or at least checking it out. Helps out the developers, and without you guys, early access game wouldn't really be a thing. So just want to make a quick note of that. Our website link is down in the description as usual. Now the game we are reviewing today, as you can see, is Fortnite and was one of our most highly recommended games to review. And now we are reviewing it, but there are some of you out there that do not know what Fortnite is, and for those of you who don't know, I'll explain that in a bit. Quick disclaimer before we actually continue more on into the video, this review is going to only really be talking about Fortnite Battle Royale, and not really Save the World, but we do recommend you to check out Save the World, because it does look like an interesting game, and I even was tempted to, you know, buy into that, so just wanted to point that out there. This video is going to be talking about the Battle Royale more than the Save the World game mode. Fortnite is a Battle Royale game where you are dropped into one giant map filled with 100 other people, where the goal of the game is to outlast the other players by scavenging for items, eliminating the other players, all in a quest to have a victory royale. Essentially, last one standing wins. It even includes a solo, duos, or squads feature to play along with, which makes the game a lot more interesting than it already is. Fortnite was originally released in 2011, but due to some developmental complications, wasn't released by Epic Games until summer of 2017, and as of this date is still in the early access stage. With all of that aside, now we're going to be getting into the things we liked about the games after hours of playing the game. We want to mention some things that we found that we liked. Quick note right before we get into that, all the info about the game is going to be down in the description below, and our website's going to have that as well. Just one final quick note.
Holy shit. Yo, let's get the loot. No! Oh shit.
That was dumb.
Fuck.
Cole! Really, Cole? By the fall?
No, he's behind me!
No!
Where is he, Cole?
Guys,
The first thing that stands out about Fortnite when you're not even just in the lobby but as well as in the gameplay is the art style behind the game. It's a very cartoony based game and it seems kind of goofy, but for this kind of game it kind of sets it apart from other games just like PUBG. We're going to be using PUBG as an example a lot throughout this, and it just makes the game a lot more unique, and it's very simple and seems like the graphics are for kids. But I don't know, it works for this kind of game too. Even the audio portion of the game is not that bad. It's very simple and kind of goes along with the cartoony based aspect of it, of the developers were trying to go for, I think. Everything sounds different and unique, and you can tell what's being fired. You can tell that kind of gun is being fired from a distance. People running around you, it sounds really nice. When things are breaking, it sounds okay, I guess. And everything about it audio wise is pretty good, so if you're really into graphics and audios and stuff like that, I know there are people that's an important aspect of the game for them. This game doesn't really let you down. It's simple and it just works. And then for the controls, I'm going to be talking about the controls on PC. I don't know how the controls are for console, but I think it's kind of hard. I haven't really tried it out before, but on PC the controls are kind of hard to reach because a lot of it, like the building things, are going to be like F1, F2, F3. You can change them to a different key if you want to, which is a good thing, But the controls overall are not that bad, and pretty easy to get the hang of. After a while playing the game, you just get used to the controls too.
Fuck.
Come on, Mark.
What?
Ooh. Ooh.
And part of the reason why people like Fortnite so much is the chaos behind the gameplay. It's just really chaotic. It's really engaging as well. And you always have to be constantly engaged. You always have to be willing to improvise. And it's a very team-based game. Or even if you're a lone wolf, you have to be able to adapt to the game itself. And overall, it's just the chaotic and funness of the game. It just makes it different and makes it a really good Battle Royale game where anything can happen at the blink of an eye, basically. Even if you're playing alone or even with friends, which is highly recommended. I think with playing with friends, it's very fun. You can have a lot of laughs. Anything can happen, like I said before. But even if you're alone, it is still a pretty fun game. And you have a desire to, you know, win the game. And it's just, I don't know really how to explain how fun it is. But once you start playing the game, you can, it's just a fun game that you're going to be playing. The next thing I wanted to mention, and it's something that really sets Fortnite apart from other games, other Battle Royale games or survival games, is the building mechanic behind Fortnite. At first, when I first started playing Fortnite, I didn't really like the building mechanic behind the game. I thought it was kind of dumb and you were kind of cheating the other player. Like if you were being fired, you can just build walls around yourself, and then I wouldn't really do anything. I just want to shoot them and they'll kill me. But as I kept playing the game, it kind of grew on me. It kind of sets Fortnite apart itself and gives it that extra level of strangeness, I guess. I don't really know what to describe it, but like the building mechanic, it just makes the game different and adds an extra layer onto the gameplay itself, which is very strange. You haven't really seen a Battle Royale game have a building mechanic where you have to build forts, you can build walls, you can build platforms and stuff like that. And I don't really like it even now. I think it's kind of dumb, but it really just makes Fortnite as a Battle Royale game somewhat different in a good way. The last thing I wanted to mention about the building mechanic, and I kind of said this, but not really, it just gives it a one-of-a-kind feel to it. Like, this is the only game that's really going to have this kind of aspect to the game, and it can be fun, I guess, and challenging, which also, if you want that in a game, this game does have a lot of that. It's pretty challenging. And even with the building mechanic, it just makes it a lot more interesting as well. Some of the minor things I wanted to mention about the game that I quite liked about the game were the emotes. The emotes are just really cool and good. Some of them, like even some of the emotes, I kind of wanted to learn in real life because they just look kind of like fun to do, and then a lot of them just look cool, and it's fun to mess around with them with your friends in the game as well. Another thing about it is that it's a free game, so anyone can get it. And as well, I haven't really seen this part of the game in a lot of games like Overwatch. It's available for a PC, console, and even Mac. I haven't really seen a feature like that in Overwatch. I know for Overwatch they didn't even do a Mac because they felt like there wasn't a market for that. But at least I like that they added that option into having Macs, because I know quite a few people who used to game on Macs, and I know Daniel used to have a Mac, but he switched to a PC before. So it's nice that they added that in there to include them in, and it's even a bigger market that they have for them available too. Even the microtransactions in the game is a really smart move about the developer. It allows them to create the free game, but a lot of them, the microtransactions are kind of worth it. A lot of the skins they have are just really cool. The emotes you have are really cool. And then, even though I always said to myself I would never get a battle pass, I always wanted to get one, and I eventually got one because I saw other people with these cool new things that they came up with, and I just wanted one too as well. I felt like I was being left out. So these microtransactions should be, if you were a small developer, I would maybe consider having that in your game and make your game a little cheaper. Because for Fortnite, they've made, I don't know how much money they made, but they made a lot of money just from microtransactions. And maybe if you're a small developer, I would perhaps include it in your game too, because it's worked out for them. It could work out for you too.
He's in the storm.
Mark, can you like spread that sniper ammo, please?
Yes! Fuck, leave this
All of those things are just minor things I wanted to mention that I liked about the game. overall, I do like once you win a game, it does kind of feel like it's well earned. Even though if you don't see anyone until like late game when there's like 10 people or 11 people left, there's so much late game chaos that once if you win the game and get through all of that, it really feels well earned and feels like you actually did a job and worth a while. It feels like the investment of your time was paid off in a sense. And it just feels like you earned it and it feels good. Maybe you even want to Snapchat it, even though that gets annoying after a while, but it just feels really good. I can't blame them if you do. The last thing I wanted to mention about the game that I liked is the developer like involvement around the game. You can tell there's constant updates. They're always bringing something new to the Battle Royale game. At least there's always some new gun or there's some new emotes or new skins and stuff like that. You can tell they truly care about the game as well. And just the fact that this is still technically an early access game shows that they want to make the game better and then just improve the community maybe even, but just make the game overall a much better game than it was before, which shows that the developers do actually care about the game. And I really like that because it's sad to say over our course of the project we have seen games where the developers just don't care, or even if they do care, they're just not as involved as these developers at Epic Games are, which is something I gotta say kudos to you guys.
Guys, I think he's above us.
No, yeah.
What the? Eddie, over here is a John Wick!
Where'd he go? My base
below you.
revolver.
What the? Dude, he's a god.
Eddie, he's right there.
Where?
He's a little...
Over the corner of his... Nice. Nice one, Eddie. Okay, please, build forts around us and please...
So those are the things that we liked about the game, and now we're going to be moving on to the neutrals. And the neutrals are more just things that they aren't bad, they're not good. They're just things I wanted to mention, maybe some recommendations to developers in case they watch this, or for, I don't know, just thought-provoking ideas out there maybe. This game isn't a pay-to-win game, but it kind of is, in the sense that like if you can totally win the game without having some special skin, you can have all the normal stuff you get from when you first get the game. But once you start seeing a guy in game with like the John Wick skin or the Night Raven skin, I forget what it's called, but it has the same skin Reaper has in Overwatch, if you know what I'm talking about. If you see those in games, you're gonna think, oh wow, they're really good, they're gonna be so much better than me, and you kind of just make a lot of errors, you start freaking out, you're like, oh my god, they're better than me. And in that kind of sense, it is a pay-to-win game. But that's only really psychologically. And the actual gameplay, it literally has no difference which skin you have. They can be just as bad as you. But it's just something I wanted to mention. There's not really a way to fix that, at least. It's just, you gotta keep in mind that some of these guys with these skins aren't even that good. They may be just as good as you or just as bad as you. Something else I wish that developers would come up with a lot faster, because I know PUBG is doing it, but they're making a new map. The map in this game it's fine, I guess, but like there's after a while playing the game, there's only so many places you can go without it being extremely repetitive. And I just feel like this game just needs a new map, and a new map would not only just make the current like players really happy, but may even introduce even more players too, and that's another potential market for the developers with all the microtransactions. This game really needs a new map. Oh, there's someone right there.
I know, I was shooting at him.
Oh my god.
Oh!
Dude, that's a whole squad of John Wicks.
Oh my god.
What the fuck?
But now it's time to the dreaded negatives about the game. Things that we didn't like about the game and we think that developers should fix. But as well, a lot of these negatives are opinions and things that we just disliked about the game and we thought you guys should know. So a lot of these things are opinions, but some of these things are things that the developers should work on as well. One of the biggest problems we have about the game in Fortnite is the netcode in the game. And I don't know if it's bad in consoles or Macs, but for PC, sometimes the netcode is just whack. There are things that you should be hitting players, that you should shots that shouldn't be hitting you, or at least it shouldn't visually, at least it doesn't look like they've been hitting you, that just you die with sometimes and you can't even tell why. It's just very random, and the netcode, it needs some work, as you can tell. It's just really bad, and the clients and the servers relationship sometimes just goes AWOL, and it's just very frustrating. And you can tell it just needs works on in general, and I feel like over time it will become a lot better, as hopefully at least. This one is more of an opinion based thing I wanted to mention, but I feel like for the free version, I mean, like, the game is free, but like without the battle pass, the truly free version, there should just be more things added, because for several tiers, especially later on as you level up in tiers in the game, there's just literally nothing you can get. And I know that they want to encourage you to do microtransactions, because that's how it is the game gets all its money basically from. I just feel like there should be maybe a couple more things into the free version, because sometimes it's $10 for a battle pass, which is not a lot, but for some people it may be. And I just feel like there should be more items included into the truly free version. And then for the game modes that they like to add every week, like the 50v50, the super explosive one, the sniper shootout game mode, they're fun and they're interesting. It's a different break from the actual Battle Royale itself, but I don't understand why they keep changing it. I feel like that they should add maybe like an arcade with all of the game modes added, but I guess that part of the reason for that is that maybe not a lot of people are going to be on those servers, but it still would be kind of fun, I guess, to see like a game mode with Blitz, with the Sniper Royale, with the explosive ones. I just feel like it would be a little cooler if you could see like an arcade mode added into Fortnite. And then this one is totally just a preference thing. Some of the guns in the game are literally trash and just frustrating, and it's just extremely frustrating, especially if that's the only gun you have from scavenging after a while. Like the hunting rifle is just, it's okay, but like if it's the only gun you have, it's just dumb. And then the burst assault rifle is just so, it's just so bad. I just hate it. And then some of the games, some of the guns, not games, you're gonna find, you're just gonna automatically hate. And I just wanted you guys to be aware that some of the guns in the game are just literally trash. And this one does concern gameplay wise, but I guess this has to do with battle royales in general. After a while playing the game, it gets kind of annoying every game having to scavenge throughout the game for loot, opening chests. It just sometimes gets a little too repetitive, I guess, in the sense that sometimes you just get tired of doing it. And that's not really the developer's fault. I guess that's just a battle royale or a scavenging game kind of like this. The final thing I wanted to mention about the game is the map design. The map design, the only map of the game in the battle royale, it's not great, but it's not bad. It's just okay. It kind of just looks really random and kind of poorly made. There's just some areas that are really small, like Tomato Town, with like no loot, but there are others with a lot of loot, and then just it creates more of a hotbed for players to go to, especially one place in particular like Tilted Towers or Salty Springs, where there are a lot of loot, and to other areas to where no one really goes, like Tomato Town or Wailing Woods or Boise Mire. No one really goes to there because the loot is kind of bad, or it just doesn't seem like a cool area to go to. So I feel like they wanted to spread, ideally they wanted to spread the players to go to equally to different kind of parts, but sometimes there's just a lot of concentration of players going to one part of the map, which is something I think they should think about if they were to create a new map.
Roger, roger.
Commander, I'm under target. Permission to retreat.
Oh shit.
Guys, I got a porta fort.
Nice.
Oh, I got a...
Go. Wait, here. Oh shit, Mark, there's someone here! Bitch, that's it. I got him. I got him. Ah, bitch, kill him.
Wait, Eddie, you...
But with all of that said, Fortnite Battle Royale is just an extremely fun game in general. With its engaging gameplay tactics, the chaos behind everything that's going on, it makes it a thrilling experience whether you are even playing alone or even with a group of friends. With its strange, unique building mechanics and ability with spur-of-the-moment events, anything can happen to you and no game you play is alike. The modes and skins make you envy other people with a battle pass, but even without it, it makes Fortnite just a fun game in general. Which is why we're going to be giving a Fortnite a 9 out of 10. It does have a lot of positives, and a lot of things that developers could work on or could implement are very simple, and in the long run I think personally that it will make Fortnite a much better game in general. And a 9 out of 10 I think suits Fortnite. So that is basically everything I had to say about Fortnite. Of course, everything about Fortnite will be in the description below, and I highly recommend you getting it. It is a free game after all, and you don't really have to purchase anything of the game, only if you want to too. Now, the reason I say this was a kind of a special video for us, which is not because of the game. We haven't really been reviewing a popular game like Fortnite, But this is actually the last review of our 20 time project. It is the last review we're going to be uploading on our website, and I just kind of wanted to say it was a great joy doing this project. I've actually discovered a lot of games that I didn't even know were a thing that were actually really fun, and I want to play even more in the future. Now, of course, if you didn't know this was a project of all of these reviews, you can always go to the cards up in the YouTube video, or you can go to our website to look at our other reviews in case you didn't watch those. Our website, of course, is in the description below, and maybe in the near future, even after this project is over, or even after this video, me and Daniel may be doing other reviews of other popular games, or even more small games that you guys think should buy as well. But this was our 20 time project, and I don't know about Daniel, but I've had a pretty fun time doing this. Making these videos were actually very interesting and challenged me creatively, so I would want to say this was a great experience actually. But that is everything I wanted to say, not just about Fortnite, but about our 20 time project. If you want to go watch the videos or our other reviews, that would mean the world to us. Thank you so much for watching not only those reviews if you do, but this one as well. You took some time out of your day, so I feel like I should thank you, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. If you do check out our website, make sure to consider, if you are considering buying those games, we hope you do. And I just hope you have a great time and a great rest of your day, and I won't see you in the next review, but I'll see you in the near future, perhaps, with another one. See you guys later.